Let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Don't trade up to number one to get Cam Ward. He's not worth it, first of all. And we just did this for Watson. Please, please don't do this. You can take Sanders. You can take whoever. Just don't trade up and don't go up the farm again. We just got our resources back. Don't waste them again. God, stop that nonsense. Just take the best players, build your team up again through the draft. Don't give up all your resources once again for one guy who may or may not be good. I've told you this once before. Don't drink the Kool-Aid on this guy. He is not the answer. Bye.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. And, Steve, what we're starting to hear is the Titans likely want a future number one, which there's no way I would do that to move up one spot unless it was, Eli Manning or Peyton Manning, not even Eli Manning.
I don't think you could do it at this point. I mean, every team's different. Look, the Panthers made the move a couple years ago to trade up from 9 to get Bryce Young. They're still dealing with the fallout there. Now, look, I think they found Bryce Young. I think they found their starter. Is he going to be a top 5, top 10 guy? I don't know, but he looked very good down the stretch. They had to give up multiple ones. They still don't have a 2 from that trade to the Bears. So it does affect you. Of course, Browns fans are, familiar with this, not having the first round picks over the last couple of years. I do think that has hurt the roster. It has. I thought Andrew Berry did a great job of building up the roster. I thought that 23 team was as solid as it gets across the board, but you start to see the depth get chipped away at the offensive line, bunch of contracts coming up there, maybe some of the depth on the defensive side. You see that dwindle when you end up putting so many resources into one player. Now, the other thing I'll say is if you knew that Cam Ward had top 10 starting potential, you would do that. You would still take that trade and you figure out how to fill in the roster around that, but you don't know that for sure always, because there's always some uncertainty. But that's the deal with, trading for a quarterback. The payoff doesn't match the payout. It is well worth it if the payout hits. If Deshaun Watson had worked out, it would have been fine, right? They would have figured it out. But when you miss, it hurts that much more. And I think because you just made that move as the Browns, it does make more sense to hold on to the draft capital, build up the roster, and hope you stumble into the next quarterback over the next couple of years.